Hello, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Eador Genesis New Horizons modded. In the last video, I think we took a normal shard, defeating obviously all of our astral opponents there, which could not have been Lanashar because we sent him into chaos an astral turn earlier. It's been over 6 months since we last played the game. The last video uploaded for Eador Genesis on my channel was July 8th, 2022, if I recall correctly. And I promised that we'd be back to this game in February of the next year, 2023. And, well, I'm not going to miss a beat. I promised you more Eador. We're going to play it together. On that note, though, this video won't have any gameplay in it. I just want to remember where we left off together. Take a look at my statistics, talk about the game again with you guys, and then wrap up this video. This won't be longer than like 30 minutes absolute tops, and all of it's going to be me talking to you guys. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with that. Actually, let me put a break here, because I like that quick little summary. Alright, guys. And now I can give you a more excited welcome back! Holy crap! Oh, man, I so wanted to record this game during the 6 months I took off. But I knew if I did it, I would probably get tired of the game. And so I'm glad to have put that break in. It let me fit in a few different games during the Halloween months, and let me finish Ogre Battle 64, an amazing game. I absolutely loved playing through that one, especially since I never had finished it from an age ago, when I had first played it during 1999 and early 2000s. My god, that seems like an age ago. I was totally someone completely different back then than I am now, or it certainly feels that way. A few things before we get going here. Number one, or rather, we're going to have a big summary here. So, number one, I've learned since I began recording this particular video how to segment videos in YouTube. It's not very difficult. So this video will be segmented into different parts. So you guys can go ahead and just skip ahead to listen to things that you might care about in case you guys don't care about everything in this summary video. Remember again, though, that there will be no gameplay here. We're just going to talk, we're just going to chat for a little bit, you and I, viewer. I figured what we would do is start with the changes that I did to the game. Then we're going to talk about the changes that we're going to do in regards to playing the game going forward. And then we'll talk a little bit about you guys. Then take a look at the summary for Lotaeri and how well we're doing. And then we can wrap it up. So let's get started first with the changes I did to the game. You guys might remember that I always, or often, start this video with New Horizons modded, as the way I phrase it. This is because we are running a modded version of the Eador Genesis New Horizons mod. I made some tweaks to the game quite some time ago, and I want to try to remember them with you. I think there were 5 total changes that I did to the game. I wanted to do more, but I stopped at 5. So let's talk about them. The first one was, I believe I changed the Dark Elf Night Shadow unit in the game. This is the high counterattack, good range defense, has parry, causes bleeding with a 2 movement 4 range unit, which I feel is incredibly overpowered, that she can do so much. And this group is able to decimate armies extremely quickly because they like to focus down your units, which is what they should do. But I've always complained that they're stupidly overpowered. You're going to hear me complain about them constantly. I reduced their shooting range from 4 to 3, which brings them in line with several other types of shorter ranged units. Slugs, and the Inquisitors who use hand crossbows. I think there's another unit that has a hand crossbow or something similar, which also... Oh, it's the... Is it the Orc girl? Does she have a range of 3? I think she might have a range of 3, if I recall correctly. So there's a few shorter range units in the game, and I felt the Night Shadows should be similar to them. I had asked you guys upon which... This was many years ago, how we wanted to alter her, because I refused to leave her in her current state. And so you guys, I put it to a vote. You guys were like, go ahead and lower her shooting range by 1, and we did that, and it's acceptable. I think that's a fine change for her. We changed the scouting hero. I gotta actually see if I can find him. Here he is. Because I'm looking at the game files as I'm talking with you guys. Oh, but the skills aren't actually here. Okay, well, crap. I don't remember what I changed in those. But I'm gonna, well, actually, I do remember. Some of them, at least. For the scout, if I recall correctly, we increased the value of 3 of his looting skills. In the original, in the New Horizons version I have been playing, it was 20%, 10%, 20%, 30%, 30%, if I recall correctly. I think I altered it to 20, 20, 30, 40, 50, if I remember correctly. So he earns an extra 30% total for looting if you take the final 2 ranks in it. I never liked that looting went down 10% for the second pick. That felt really strange. All of your level ups should be the same, I felt, at the very least, if not a little better than the previous pick. It shouldn't get worse. So that was what encouraged me to do that. And in the version of the game I'm currently playing, the designers of New Horizons made a very similar change. I think maybe mine is now like 10% higher, and I don't think that breaks him. So we're going to leave him at the numbers I've got. I think I had changed the commanders. There was his ability he's got which grants morale and experience to his army. I think I increased the amount of morale it grants on 2 of the picks, increasing it by 1 for both of those picks. And I might have increased the amount of experience it earns by 5% in 2 picks. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I did something like that. It might have been undone, because I think the New Horizons guys also made, once again, a similar change on their side. And I think I liked theirs better than mine, so I might have undone it. But just be aware that that exists as well. I changed some of the mage-type characters to have a passive skill called Tolerance. This allows them to be in an army, and they are not affected by the morale, the alignment, sorry, of the other units in the army. I had wanted it to work the opposite, or rather, I wanted it to be that their morale wasn't affected by and did not affect your armies, but there is no ability like that in the game. I didn't want to make their alignment neutral, because I like the idea of them taking extra damage from the forces of the Inquisition, which hunts down mages. I thought that was rather thematic to leave it in. But I did give some of them tolerance. I think it was the Archmages, so the guys that look like Gandalf, who usually are there with the... Wow, with a single adept and usually a griffin, when you encounter 3 of them in the various locations in the world. And then there's the adept. I think I added it to him. Oh, it wasn't called the adept. That's the... Oh, what is it called now? I can't remember. There's the adept, the guy with the dark hair and beard with a staff. Is it called the scholar? Is it the scholar? And then there's like the little mage with the scroll, or who you can get early on. Oh, I think I have one of them. Hold on. If I go here and I click on evade, it's this guy. Scholar. Okay, yeah, it's a scholar. So I gave them tolerance. Here it is. I gave this to 3 of the different types of mages, since I felt that would be rather thematic for them. Wait, that does what I think it does, right? Or did I get that wrong? Did I actually make it so that they're not affected by the enemy army? Hold on. What does this do again? This unit's morale does not decrease when his alignment conflicts with the masters or with other units on his party. Yep, okay. That's good. Oh, that's good too. So it doesn't affect with our astral master. Oh, and he's neutral anyway. Okay. Is he neutral anyway? Well, he's neutral now. Let's go with that. And then there was one more change. What was it? I don't know if this qualifies, but I know this was a change that we were doing. I've always felt that the astral energy cost for purchasing equipment and the various upgrades before you go to attack a shard is overpriced. Items are way too expensive most of the time for you to consider purchasing them before about like the 20th astral turn. And I didn't like that very much. I was never tempted to take anything other than income upgrades. And so we have an agreement where before I attack a shard, after I've decided what items I'm going to bring with me, be it that units or items in the treasury. Actually, I think, yeah. Oh, and contracts. I'm allowed to lower the price of these things by 1/3 of their astral energy cost. Then when I get onto the shard, I re-put the item's astral cost back to normal. There is no way for you to lower directly the astral energy cost of a unit. It's a side effect of adjusting the actual in-game price of these items via lowering their gold and gem cost. So that's how I have to go about it. This means that, for example, our Dwarven Shield costs us about 150 or so astral energy. Or, no, it's not 150, 135 instead of 205. If I want to take this, for example. It's been working out. I like it very much because I do end up spending astral energy on like one item in addition to other things when I go and attack a shard. And sometimes I've even considered bringing one of my units to help me start the shard, which is good. If I'm tempted to spend energy rather than just hoard it, I consider that a plus. I think that's all the changes. I can't remember any others off the top of my head at the moment. So let's put a break here. Okay, just a heads up. Checking the scouts looting now. I see that I've defaulted to whatever. It's now 2020, 30, which I think is what's in the base game. So I probably liked their alterations better. Theirs being the New Horizons guys, and left that alone. Okay, so that's another change then that I no longer have. Okay, whatever. That's fine. All right, so changes to how we play this game. I very much have enjoyed the longer videos on Sundays. It harkens back to how Sunday was unique for me when I was growing up. There was Kung Fu Theater on TV. There was a good Abbott and Costello movie on generally. There were cartoons present on the weekends that weren't present on during the week. And it set it aside as being a little different than any of the other days. When I moved over to recording and uploading Ogre Battle once a week, but making sure that I got an Ogre Battle 64 video uploaded onto my channel on Sundays, I began to like how I've got this one day where there's just one video. Well, I mean, there's only one video that goes up on my channel these days anyway, but it's a long video compared to all the other ones, which makes it more unique. And Eador Genesis strikes me as the perfect game to play to continue with that going forward. Ogre Battle videos were anywhere from an hour and a half, which would be a quick one, to about 5 hours for a really long scene. And I think we're going to keep that for Eador Genesis New Horizons. We're going to be uploading it on Sundays only, but they'll be longer than my other videos. We'll make sure that they're at least 2 hours, but don't be surprised if on average they're 4 for Sundays. Eador Genesis is one of the easier games for me to compress down after recording it. And I can slip in recording Eador Genesis while other games are being compressed. So I don't envision myself having any issue getting a 3 to 5 hour video for Eador Genesis up on Sundays. I think we were playing the game for 2 hours, an hour and a half or 2 hours per segment when I was, per video, sorry, when I was playing this back in 2022. So this will give you just about the same length of content for Eador Genesis, just in one day. We're going to start with the uploads for this game again when we hit February, I think 12th. 1 second, let me check the calendar. Yeah, February 12th. That gives me 2 weeks off, which I want, just to have 2 weeks off where I don't upload something on Sunday. I've just finished uploading the last of the Ogre Battle 64 videos by the time this video itself gets recorded. And this video is going up on the same Sunday, tomorrow, January 29th, 2023. So that'll be the plan. 5-hour videos on Sundays or so, maybe a little less, or maybe like at least, once again, 3 hours. But at most, maybe we'll even have like an 8-hour Eador Genesis video here or there to do a complete shard in one episode. Man, that's a big ask. But we'll see if we do that maybe once or twice, just to make it that different. But they'll be longer than my other videos for my channel. And once again, we'll start doing that on the 12th. Next, you guys. Guys, I don't have the paper any longer which had your names written down on it and what units you wanted to be. Well, I remember a few of you, your names, like Udaloop C, wanted to be a monster. Dennis Mayak wanted to be a mage. Lost Fremen didn't care. Vipera wanted to be a cavalry unit. But I don't have a good memory of this. So, I'm going to ask that you re-enlist. Go ahead and add yourself if you're interested. Let me know in the comments section down below as to what you want to be. You might remember that we discovered you can name a unit. You give it a unique name. So it still says like it's a light infantry, but I can name the light infantry. I added myself as a light infantry, Lotaeri. This way, when I would eventually die, I wouldn't feel so bad because I'd be a rather weak unit who'd be dying. I can never promise if I'm going to get you in the army, in so much that if you ask to be something like a dwarf, I might not have dwarves as allies, in which case I just won't be able to take you for a particular shard. And you guys know that I like flip-flopping occasionally between lawful, neutral, and chaotic units in order to have different combos and try them out. But if we do go down a certain build path and that unit is available, I will try to name it after you. I'll get one and add it and get you in the game. Try to be specific if you can as well. Or well, if you ask for like a support unit, which I think like a Dorkable had done, that's a bit easier than asking me to be a particular type of dwarf. But on that same note, if you ask for a particular type of dwarf, I will definitely try to make sure that if we do get dwarves as allies, that I aim for that type of dwarf and get it in the army ASAP. I forget the person's name now, but they asked to be a mercenary type of character. Any merc. Just pick a merc and name it after, give it my name when you do it. Which was a really fun way for me to consider mercenaries, because I had never even considered them as an option for my armies until someone had requested to be a mercenary. That was actually pretty fascinating. Since I now have a greater appreciation for the strategy of grabbing an early mercenary to help you take the early provinces or location battles. And so long ago now, it seems. Anyway, once again, let me know. You might also discover that I've changed some of the hero names. So you might see your name show up as a hero occasionally. I think I've named one wizard Lotaeri, for example, so be prepared for that. Oh, that was another change I had done, by the way, to the game. You might remember. I removed the girls from the game and stripped the game of all of the rather silly celebrity portraits, which I absolutely couldn't stand. So we're back to the standard Eador Genesis hero portraits, and only dudes, no girls. Okay, so let's now do a summary of Lotaeri together. Wow! We're on Astral Turn 32. I think on Competent, which is the difficulty we are playing on, the game ends at turn 65. Might be 70, but I think it's 65. Might be lower, might be 60, but I think it's 65. So at this point, we are, I think, halfway done with the game. And if we get the ending at turn 65, I believe it is the bad ending. So we gotta aim for one of the other endings before that turn arrives. We've conquered 30 shards. We have not failed to conquer any at this moment. Remember, though, that we cheated. We used to use the cheat engine on this game, because the game had an I'm just gonna say it had the AI hyper-leveling bug, or glitch is what I called it, and Jazz, the holder of the code, the main developer of New Horizons, admitted on the Eador forums, admitted makes it sound as if he was trying to hide it. That wasn't the case. He indicated that the AI was not leveling as it should have been, that he had found what he thought was the error and fixed it, which was one of the reasons why we started playing this game again last year, and we did not see the hyper-level glitch at all. It seems to be gone. Either the version he's released fixed it, or some combination of that version with the alterations I did to the game files were able to fix that problem. So this is not quite a bloodless 30 shards. I think we cheated on 4 shards? With two of them were shards that I tried to balance the cheating. I gave myself a few levels and gave myself equipment to try to balance my level 14 hero fighting an enemy level 30 hero with all level 30 units. And then there were 2 times where I just gave myself like 2 dragons and just walked all over the AI because I wasn't in the mood to deal with the silliness anymore. But of those 2 times, we undid the last of those 2 times and replayed that shard when we came back last year to play the game again. We defeated 3 enemies. Lanashar, the Barbarian, I can cheat and see his name down here, Dogor, and Stenria. We had to defeat Stenria to get one of the keys of truth from her. It was her means of ascending and was a part of her. The only way we could get it was to defeat her. And she left us a very sad message where she was glad we defeated her, as it was the only way she was going to be able to give up the key, and she wasn't strong enough to just give it up her life, even if it might result in the greater good of Eador being saved from the chaos of encroaching it. We have 3 keys of truth. We have 1 ancient parts. We have 12,809 glory. The only thing that matters, how well we are doing in the game. Once again, we've cheated to get some of this, but the AI cheated too, so I'm not going to feel overly guilty about it. And when we cheated with the dragons, we made a beeline right for the enemy AI, rather than abuse the fact that I gave myself 1,000,000 credits. 1,000,000 gold, 1,000,000 gems, gave myself 2 dragons and just didn't care anymore. We went right for the AI's strongholds, stomped them out, and then we won. And of course, we remembered that we also undid one of those shards. We've got Collector 3 times. That's when we find all the pieces of a difficult to acquire set. Strategist times 10, which I believe is that we beat the shard without a death. Yeah, was it without a death or was that without a loss? I think it's without a loss, actually. We didn't lose a single battle. And Cartographer 3, where every single spot, every single province on the shard was revealed. And our best title is God. This does amazing things for my ego. But keep in mind, we're only a competent god. We're not an expert god, just a competent god. We know what we're doing, but we're not that haughty to assume that we are one of the best at it. We know enough to be a decent enough god at turn-based strategy games. We are earning 459 astral energy a turn. That's incredible. That allows me to purchase one piece of gear before every shard we go on. Man. I wonder if we'll finish the game this year. If we have another, like, 30 astral turns to go, this is probably going to take another 3 or 4 years to finish. But if we're done in another 10 or 12 astral turns, we might get it done this or next year. Alright. To wrap up this video, I would like to look at all the shards that we're intending to invade. And I'll let you guys decide on the shard that we'll go to. It'll be fun to have you guys decide which of them we start with. So let's go ahead and take a peek. I see only 3 shards as well. So we have Gurenton, a large sea shards, which will grant us 40 extra energy income if we successfully take it. We'll earn the Explorers Guild, which lets us upgrade ports, and it speeds up the province exploration. Wow, by 30%. That'll help new heroes quickly explore these locations and max them out for us. The Master Builders Guild reduces the cost of construction of the castle by 10%. Okay, this will be like the third or so the third or so structure that we have of this sort. Oh, we can build an additional provincial building each turn. I think around turn, was it 80? You're allowed to build 2 provinces' buildings. That was added in New Horizons. So this would let us build 3 buildings per turn after turn 100 or 80. And we can upgrade a citadel. We can upgrade to a citadel. Is that right? Oh, upgrade a citadel to a fortress. So that would let us hold, I think, tier 4 units in those buildings. The Merchant's Guild, look at all that extra income, plus 30 income, resource cost reduced by 10%, and malls can be upgraded to markets. So instead of 5 extra income, I think that's 7 extra income in those provinces. We also get a Pack Warrior, absolutely garbage. We'll just vendor it the moment that we get the Pack Warrior. We'll take the extra, like, 6 astral energy to sell that piece of crap. What else do we have? Aerie, a large forested shard. 27 energy income. Chapel of Immortals. Reduces cost of hero resurrection and rituals by 30%. Extra morale bonus for defenders. The Tower of Necromancy. Oh, we haven't unlocked all the tier 3 spell circles yet. Okay, so this is the circle 3 for undead. You can see the spells it adds there. This must be the 3rd circle for high magic. Okay, we'll learn the School of High Magic for tier 3 spells of this sort. And the Artifact Market allows heroes to purchase simple magical items. So, if I recall the Artifact Market, when you build this, it will choose, I think it's 5 artifacts of uncommon, possibly rare, rarity for you to purchase. I think they're blue and or green. They might be blue or purple, but I can't remember. The items that you get do not change, and I think they're completely randomized. They might be based on the other markets or shops you've purchased, but I don't know. I think I might be wrong about this too, but I don't think this was in the base Eador game. This was new for New Horizons. We'll get access to a Plague Shooter. We'll probably just vendor it. An extra 69 gold, which you probably won't use. And a Silver Axe, which we'll also just sell. Actually, we can't sell items, or I would. And the other shard is Goderage, an average-sized plain shard, which will earn us 15 energy income. We gain access to 3 other exceptional shops. Enchanter, Mailmaker, Weaponsmith. We'd gain an extra 56 gold reserve. I don't really care about that. And a Pack Warrior, which is also garbage. Getting absolute trashed from the RNG, which is good, since that's my usual expectation of what RNG does for me. We also, though, could start the new year with an invasion of Uldugan. I have not forgotten that a turn after meeting this fine, upstanding gentleman that he invaded us. That he just wanted us gone, because us not being here makes it a little easier for him to take over, to exist, or rather, he claims our shard, he gets a bunch of energy, he gets our various items added to his, and buildings added to his own. Why not make the attempt? We could make the attempt on him. I kind of want to wait around, but we could totally do it. It'd be exciting, I suppose, if nothing else. Okay, guys, and that will do it for us. So, yeah, I think that does it. So thank you guys for watching. It'll be good to play this game again. I'll tally up your votes. I'll make sure I get your names re-added to a list with what you want to be. And we'll start playing this game again. Or the first video will go up on my channel on the 12th. And I'll see you guys then. Alright, guys. Take care.